Yo, what's happening, YouTube? It's your man Rob, aka Bobby Smooth, and welcome back to the channel. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I'm very happy to announce that now I'm coming with weekly NBA content for this season. So stay tuned, make sure you hit that like button and that notification bell as well so you won't miss a single upload. And also, feel free to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok down below too. With all the shameless plug out the way, let's get into it. Yo, what is going on in the NBA? Seriously, what's happening? We're not even a week into the season, and we already got a double overtime thriller to kick off the season. Victor Wembanyama making the Dallas Mavericks look like a JV basketball team, and the FBI arresting NBA coaches, NBA players related to sports gambling and poker games linked to the mafia. Yo, I don't know about y'all, but the 2025-26 NBA script is spicy. And I just want to unpack the biggest things that stick out to me and just briefly go over stuff. Let's start off with opening night, the defending OKC Thunder versus the newly minted Houston Rockets with their offseason centerpiece, Kevin Durant. Now, the story with the Rockets coming into the season was what's going to be the answer for point guard? Because obviously we knew from a few weeks ago, Fred VanVleet, the Rockets veteran guard of a couple years, tore his ACL. Amen Thompson had to step up and be the point guard. So the Rockets debuted the tallest lineup on record in NBA history. Like I said, you got Amen Thompson, 6'7" at point guard, 4 6'11" players rounding out this lineup with Jabari Smith Jr., Kevin Durant, Alperen Sengun, and Steven Adams. And on average, 6'10". Crazy starting lineup. It kind of really represents the future of basketball, low-key, because positions are just getting taller and taller. You don't see many point guards that are under 6 feet anymore. They're the epitome of that and much more. Well, of course, obviously, their defense was going to be really good. And for most of the game, pretty much almost all the game, it was pretty good. They were swarming OKC with their length. This is really not the best matchup for OKC. And they gave them fits. They went man-to-man a lot, but then also did zone too. In the first quarter, Houston had 5 steals. So that just shows off the bat just how good they were. Kevin Durant, he had a pretty modest game, 23 points and 9 rebounds, 9 of 16 from the field, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, but 0 of 4 from 3. Overall, I thought that he did as much as he could, but what stood out to me the most, I would say, was that he wasn't getting easy shots. Now, KD is 37 years old at this point, and yes, he's a certified bucket getter. Yes, he's on the Mount Rushmore of mid-range shooters and of scorers. He can only do so much, and to the point like he'll get exhausted and tired. OKC had Lou Dort guarding him. We know Lou Dort shorter, but stockier and strong. He was giving KD some issues, just being real physical with them. That's what Lou Dort is known for, basically a football player. But Kevin Durant was still getting his shots, his mid-range shots. I think he got a couple and ones. He had tough and one in overtime when he had Lou Dort and Hartenstein draped over him. But I just noticed that him getting to his spot just wasn't as easy because there wasn't a point guard to set him up. Amen Thompson, he's going to have to grow as a lead guard this year in substitution for Fred VanVleet. It's going to take some time. But KD also, he has to take more threes, man. Why are most of your teammates taking more threes than you when you're the best shooter on the team? I really don't get that. I just think he should be looking to score more diversely. He'll get his buckets, but I just think he should take more threes. He only had 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting throughout the fourth quarter and both overtimes combined. Kind of wish he was a little bit more aggressive, but again, that might be due to just him not getting easier looks. But moving on to OKC's side, Shea, he had a slow start, only 5 points in the first half. Second half, definitely picked it up. He scored 24 points and combined the fourth quarter and both overtimes. And also had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, couple steals. 10 of 14 from the free throw line. Had the game-tying shot to send the game into overtime. He had that pull-up over Amen Thompson. And then drew that foul on KD. to win the game in double overtime, and that made KD foul out. Shea was Shea, man. He started off slow, but real scorers, they know how to get back into a rhythm and get to the spots. We all know Shea loves to initiate contact, do that little bump, and just get a little bit of space and pull up for that midi. That's what he does. So really good game overall. Alperen Sengun, he had a monster performance. 39 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 12 of 24 from the field, and 5 of 8 from 3. And he was like looking really confident, stepping into these threes, catching shoot, and they're going in like bottoms all net. It was looking like Jokic out there a little bit. Obviously, he's not Jokic, not even close. But the way he was knocking down those shots reminded me of that. He was being really physical. He had a couple and ones, I believe. Had one over Chet. Overall, I think you couldn't have asked more from Sengun. He was arguably the best player on the court. And then moving on to Chet Holmgren, he stepped up. 28 points, 11 to 17 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He had a monster first quarter. He had 13 points on 5 of 5 from the field in just 8 minutes. So he was coming out, catching shoot threes, had an and one. He was looking aggressive, looked comfortable, and that's a good sign because his jump shot is kind of streaky. I know he shot well from 3 in the previous couple seasons, regular seasons, but in the playoffs, his shot just took a nosedive. I would love to see that shot be more consistent. He'll be a bigger threat on his team. Amen Thompson, his debut at point guard, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 stocks, 8 of 17 from the field, but 0 of 7 from 3. His threes were like all catch and shoot. Like he would be like in the corner or on the wing. He would get it, but he would be kind of hesitant to shoot it. He didn't look the most confident shooting his shots. Normally he's used to, cutting baseline for a lob or driving to the basket. But he was shooting shots, but he wasn't hitting those jump shots like that. And as we know, that's the only area of his game that's like a real concern. We all know he's an amazing defender. He's a hyper athletic wing when out guard. And I think personally he's going to be an all-star this season. But we'll see how that shot is going to develop and his point guard skills. Now, overall, this was a really fun game. Double overtime. There was that infamous play where KD called timeout off of the rebound where Shea missed at the end of the first overtime. They didn't have no timeouts left. So he had a Chris Webber moment. But the refs somehow didn't see it, even though it was so obvious. So the game really should have been over right there because, you would have assumed that they would have shot, OKC would have shot 2 free throws, would have been Shea shooting them, and that would have iced the game. But still went into the second overtime, and KD, he was playing good on Shea on that last play, playing real honest. Shea was trying to, to get him to, jump, and eventually he did, left his feet, shot into him. And KD fouled out, Shea hit the free throws, and that was basically game. Overall, great game. Houston Rockets, their defense is going to be amazing. Their offense is good, but I'm interested in seeing how they're going to progress without a true point guard. And then moving on to, Wemby. Oh my goodness. I knew he was going to come different this season. I knew he was going to be better, but wow. It looks like it's child's play out there. He already looks like he's playing on a mini hoop. He's so tall, but to see what he was doing against Anthony Davis and Derek Lively, like they were cones, just do dunks, shooting over them, crafty moves, handles. Wemby showed the full package. And he scored 40 points in under 30 minutes. 15 rebounds, only took 2 threes, made 1 of them. He looked unstoppable out there. It looked comical how great he was playing. The dunks, ridiculous. The alley-oop, dunk down the lane, reverse, boom. The pump fake on the baseline, getting PJ Washington to jump, and then driving baseline and 1 reverse dunk with AD following him. And then blocking Derek Lively on one end, getting the ball back, and then going into a series of moves down the court. A tween, hezzy cross, between the legs, behind the back, into a step back 3, and got fouled and won. And he did the James Harden emote. Personally, I know it's only game 1, but I've seen enough. I think Wemby is going to be MVP. That might sound too early, but he's a one-of-a-kind talent. And he's realizing how good he is. I can see it in his play style. It's not like how he was his first 2 seasons, not handling physicality that well, taking a lot of threes last season, which I'm not against because he actually shot them at near league average clip. But I like to see him assert himself physically and just being the bigger dude because he has all the advantages and tools. There's no reason why he should not be averaging 30 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, like 3.5 to 4 blocks. That's realistic, and that's MVP. That's top 5 in MVP voting. I'm buying all stock in the Wemby, and y'all should too. Wemby is the future now. And last but not least, I want to briefly touch on this gambling controversy, man. Yo, we had an explosive news story this morning when the NBA dropped that Chauncey Billups, head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, who had just coached a game the previous night, and Terry Rozier, who's on the Miami Heat, they were arrested for 2 separate investigations. Chauncey Billups for participating in illegal poker games, basically luring in people to play these rigged poker games. Terry Rozier for the sports gambling, which we already knew he was investigated for earlier, but he was cleared. But like now, with the evidence they have, it's not looking good. It's actually looking ugly. So long story short, he gave his friend information about what he was gonna do in a game, a March 23rd, 2023 game, in which he was gonna leave early after just a few minutes. And so it's for hundreds and thousands of dollars. He sold the information to a couple bettors for 100K. So yeah, that's obviously bad. And you know how it is with the FBI. When the FBI normally comes with a case, it's normally legit because they investigate for years until they pop out and charge you with something. So this is all believable. And especially considering that he was already in the mix before. And then on top of that, Damon Jones, former NBA player, is actually a teammate of LeBron James, also from a coach. He was charged because he gave information to somebody in 2023, apparently when LeBron wasn't going to be playing in the game, and to bet in favor of the Bucks, who the Lakers were playing against. They won or whatever. All I gotta say, because I don't want to get too far deep into this, because I'm tired, I want to go to bed, but this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of what's going to be happening for the NBA in the future. With sports gambling being as prevalent as it is today, we see it in all the ads. Damn near every commercial is a betting ad. Like maybe like for every 3 during a sports game, we get 1. And with NBA players or just athletes overall, their knowledge of the power of what they have to do, generating money for people and betting and stuff, a lot of them know that it's super illegal to get involved and like bet themselves, but there's going to be a few are going to think that, hey, I can get away with this. Why not make some extra cash? It's just going to be like a Pandora's box of more and more people that are going to come out. If you're asking me, it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's just the state of we're in now, and it's not really a surprise because the NBA embraces betting and pushes it out. It's going to be the norm. And then as far as the mafia stuff with Chauncey Billups, what are you doing that as an NBA coach, as a respected NBA player, but not even that, just a player who's made, over $100 million in your career, and you get involved with this. Also, with me being from Michigan and growing up remembering Chauncey Billups on the Pistons, it's not a cool thing to hear. We're probably going to get more info on this soon because this just dropped today. We're just going to stay tuned. But yeah, man, I just wanted to give you guys an update on my big takeaways of what's been happening these last few days in the NBA. A lot of crazy stuff. Stay tuned for more NBA content, like I said at the beginning, weekly. Go ahead and also subscribe too. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm Rob, aka Bobby Smooth, and have a blessed day. Peace.